right. Welcome to Your Time, Your Money, the show where your time is just as valuable as your money, and we know that. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm here with my amazing partner, Matt.
Hi, Mark. I'm so excited. That was like the first clean intro we've had in a long time. I'm so excited.
Hey, I'm excited that you're here, part of the series.
I know, seriously. Every day I'm getting crushed, beat up. I'm happy I get to be here during the day and getting a little work done. Thank God it's a Sunday, but that's okay. We're here to work.
Show's got a little bit different, machismo, whatever.
Machismo is what we call it. Guys, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're going to be going over the last of our series of 3, and that's claiming Social Security at the age of 70 years old.
The big 7-0.
Right?
Not only are you going to have a cool birthday party, you're going to get Social Security.
Yeah, I seem to think 70 is like the new 60.
I feel like it is. I mean, the way longevity tables are and people are living well into their 90s, I feel like 70 is a new 60.
And we have a lot of clients approaching 90 and in their 90s.
I would say
that are still active.
Yeah, very active, very sharp. They can still drive. It's a very normal thing.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more so. So let's get into it. It's your time.
And it's your money.
So, ultimately we've done, claiming at 62, claiming at full retirement age. And then, we want to spend some time today, I think, talking about one that has kind of some of the most creative planning that can be done, and that's claiming at the age of 70.
Yeah.
Because most people, as we had went through in our other episodes, government's not making money off of me. We're going to claim at age 62.
Right.
I'm going to time it around Medicare planning. 70 is the one that really people put some thought into when it comes to financial planning.
Well, yeah, because then at the end of the day, if you're waiting all the way until 70, you're getting the biggest rate of return, right? You're getting the biggest total benefit, and you've essentially delayed gratification, which is wonderful.
You're getting 132% of your actual PIA, your insurance amount that you've worked so hard for. You're getting 132% of that, plus you're getting the deferral from 67 to 70 added with cost of living adjustments.
Right. So you're getting a huge jump as you hit age 70. Now, mind you, from age 65 to age 70, if you haven't taken Social Security, you're probably paying Medicare out of pocket.
Correct.
Right. So you're paying a check every month to Medicare for you and your spouse potentially while you're not collecting. So there's like kind of a double whammy there if you're not collecting, but then you get the payoff of all that extra income when you turn 70.
But it also might be somebody that's already currently working and their work plan is covering health benefits.
Yep.
So maybe they're just doing the mandatory part of Medicare and they don't have a supplemental plan. So, there are benefits to waiting while you're working, but there's also benefits to retiring and not claiming. And let's talk a little bit about those today. I think that's really going to shed some light on why people may want to wait till age 70.
Right.
Because when you retire, most people center that around maybe 59 and a half when their IRAs are available, or 62, based on first, pension payment.
If you're watching any of the presidential debates, you're seeing people asking others to work to 70 or right until 68.
Yeah, true.
Right. So, people are being asked to work longer because of the way the situation is right now with Social Security and how much money's coming out of the system.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a wild sequence of events.
And if you're already claiming prior to 70, that's income coming in that lessens your ability to do other types of creative planning with your retirement accounts, right? So what we're talking about is deferring Social Security, maybe shifting some of that income burden to other assets.
Right, because you're going to need the money from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just going to appear, unless you're working, it's not going to appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, because once you claim Social Security, that income's coming in. That income's going to be counted towards your progressive tax brackets. It's going to be counted towards your Medicare premiums. It's counted across the board on your income. So by delaying it, some things that our listeners may want to do is they may want to start a Roth conversion process.
Yes, that's where we integrate a CPA. Bring a CPA into the mix. Let's look at your adjusted gross income. What's our number? How much can we convert? Right.
Yeah, and we have a great episode coming out, I think, the week after this on progressive tax brackets, maybe explaining them in some simple terms with some visuals so that our clients can understand how they work. But Roth conversions are a very powerful thing to be able to do. And you can do them anytime after 70 as well.
You can.
But when you get to the required minimum distribution age of 73, you have to start taking
You have to take your required, right, your minimum first, and then you can do conversion after. But, at the end of the day, when you wait until 70 to take Social Security, you're giving yourself a huge advantage.
Yeah, and your spouse.
Because at the end of the day, the higher your benefit is. For example, if I'm 70 and my spouse is 68, and I waited all the way until 70, that means that if she does end up claiming off of mine, she's getting a higher number, right?
Yeah.
Off of my age 70 benefit.
Yeah, well, and that's, most households have a primary breadwinner or a primary breadwinner that has 35 years of earnings history.
Right, which is even more important why people work well into their 60s is that if my earnings history, and this is huge, guys, if you have no zeros on your earnings history, and then where you can find that, if you go to ssa.gov and you check your earnings history, it's going to say your top 35 years. It's not consecutive.
Yep.
It's just your top 35. If you have no zeros there, the sizing of that benefit pool goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people have zeros.
Yeah. Or they have a year in the
with $1,000
in the 70s
right?
where they earn $3,000
right,
or
or
$4,000
right?
or whatever. So, so even sometimes just working a couple months into a year that you turn 69 or 70 can drastically affect your benefits if you're dropping off a zero or a low number that you can make up in a quarter nowadays with the earnings that most people are at in their late 60s, right?
And there's a lot of opportunities for jobs out there too. I mean, there's not saying there's not, but there's a lot of great things out there that people can do.
Correct. And first and foremost, the one thing we always ask is there longevity in your family?
Right.
Right. If there's not, then it might not be a good strategy to wait till 70. But for a lot of people where there is longevity, parent, grandparent, all their siblings have lived, well into their 70s and 80s, you may want to consider.
And if their health is good, right? If they're in good health.
Yeah, they're in good health. And then at 70, let's put it this way. If you have two pensions, perhaps, which a lot of like upstate New York people have or other states that we service have as well, you may not need that Social Security benefit.
Right.
So that allows you to do maybe some more creative estate planning at 70 and beyond with higher premiums.
Yeah.
Second to die life insurance and a trust.
This is SUL, right?
Yeah. Gifting the grandkids. It's just about maximizing your income.
I mean, what's the estate tax? What's the estate cap right now for New York? 5 million?
It's like 6, I think. 6
million?
6 and change.
I mean, imagine if I retire at age 60 with $2 million in my 401k or IRA. Well, even if 10 years later it doubles, what's that put me at? Yeah. That's just $4 million in my IRA. That's not considering my other assets.
Your house, your other appreciated
So if I die and all my assets go to my beneficiaries and it's $8 million, well, guess what happens? Not all of that goes effectively.
Yeah.
There's going to be some tax liability there that I can't offset unless I'm creative.
Correct.
With my planning, with Social Security planning.
And having a higher Social Security benefit coming in later in life allows you to have Social Security pay the taxes on your IRA for required minimum.
Yep.
So you can convert more
into your
Roth after.
Gotcha.
Right? Otherwise, you're paying it out of pocket.
Correct. You're just paying that. You're saying, hey, I'm just going to eat it and I'm going to pay it out of pocket.
Yeah. So why not have Social Security do that for you in your planning?
Oh.
Right.
So, there are listeners out there that watch the other two episodes that said, I can't afford to not take it, right? I have to take it at 62. Just be wary of this because a lot of baby boomers that did take it early now are struggling in their 70s.
Yeah, because
their income is fixed.
Yeah, they give you cost of living adjustments that they don't really keep up with inflation.
Much.
So, in periods of high inflation, it's nice to say, hey, you know what? I maximize my benefits, at age 70.
Yeah.
So, those are all the reasons why, in addition to just the psychology of getting more out of the government on a monthly basis, right?
I tell you though, it's hard getting people to delay their gratification.
Correct.
It's really hard. I mean, even this generation that we're in right now, it's a generation now. I want my answer. I want it complete. I go to the internet. I get my answer. The generation that is above us, that's older than us, delayed gratification, I feel like is normal.
Yeah, and I guess one final point for Social Security at 70 is what we try to do, and that's build in gradual step up as income.
Yep.
When a person retires, let's say at 60 or 62, we try to build in gradual step ups of income. Mm-hmm. And those step up of incomes are drawing off of different sources at different times and different amounts. So it's great to have that step up at age 70 that doesn't come in from your investments.
Right, because now it's guaranteed and the market does not matter.
Yep, and think of it this way. If we have more coming in from Social Security than you actually need to live off of between that
bonus
and some other stuff, you can now shift your investments more aggressive.
To grow faster if you want to.
Exactly, after the age of 70, which most people go, what? The opposite way.
Right, now I'm older, I want to be more conservative.
Yep, and there's inflation and now you're losing
I don't get as much growth, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of validity to waiting But if you're going to wait, you want to have it in context of a good financial plan.
Right. You can't just say, I'm going to wait, but instead of having a great financial plan, I'll just work for the next 8 years. Right. And not enjoy retirement. Right. I retired at 62, but then I got a job selling cars. Right. Or I got a job working at the local Y, whatever it is. Instead, rather, like you said, build a plateaued plan where every 2 years we have an income kick.
Yep.
Right. From whatever particular situation you're in.
Yep. And by doing that, that allows you maybe to be more aggressive with your investments.
On the back end.
Yep.
Right.
And best case scenario is you're 70, you draw, the market goes down, and now you have all this money to invest when the market goes down.
Yep.
And you reap the rewards on the investment side. Being more aggressive and buying at the right time.
This is where I think the tactical advantage, right? Timing advantage of being a good investor and having a good advisor where you can reach out and say, hey, I got an idea or I got a feeling. What do you think?
Yeah.
Right? Those are the kind of conversations you should be having. But in addition, there's the strategic part. When should I claim Social Security?
Yeah.
Right? That's a huge decision.
Yeah. And as always, for our listeners, please be advised, we do have a podcast out there, a full podcast on claiming Social Security. We did it with Justin, our certified retirement counselor. So if you want more detailed information on Social Security besides just claiming at certain ages, check out that podcast. Reach out to us at 43 British American Boulevard in Latham, New York, 12110. You can reach us at 844-444-YTYM for your time, your money. Share this podcast down. It helps us get our information out. And we have another great series coming up about indexes and what they are.
Yes, the indexes.
And, hopefully that'll bring some education to our listener base as well. And as always, it's your time
and your money.